Hey everyone, before we get started learning more about Brown University, we wanted to let you know that you can calculate your chances of admission at Brown and other schools with your free CollegeVine account. Start by completing your chancing profile with information such as your GPA, test scores, and extracurricular activities. From there, you can use CollegeVine's Hub tool to see your chances and information about the school, such as cost, majors, and more. Visit the link in the description below to sign up and see your chances today.
So first year dorms are pretty much what you'd expect, like anywhere. First year students live together in like one big cluster away from everyone else. Usually that is in Pembroke, which is like the former women's college way to the north of campus, and it's like a really nice green area. There's also Keeney and Wayland, which are like closer to like the main buildings. These dorms are all actually the most recently renovated because every first year student has to live in a dorm. So your first year, you'll probably have the nicest room unless you live on campus until you're a senior. The first year dorms are randomly assigned, however, so probably like a little better to live with your friends than in like a hotel equivalent room with a stranger. But yeah, so first year dorms are of course randomly assigned unless you like know someone before going into Brown, which is like very unusual. However, you can request like social housing conditions like accessibility and your like accessibility if you like need like a ramp, a building with a ramp, which is unfortunately there's kind of a lack of that on Brown's campus, or like if you want a substance-free environment, stuff like that. Roommates, though, however, are not quite randomly assigned. The dorm that you get is just random, and you'll have to deal with it. But your roommate, you do have like some control. So before you go in, you'll have to take a quiz that just kind of ensures that you're matched with someone compatible. So like you'll just fill out your sleep schedule, how clean you are, how often you do laundry, how like tolerant you are of stereotypical college smells and stuff. Basically, like again, roommate compatibility. You'll be living with this person, having to deal with them, and this is to make sure that you like don't go crazy. And really, like is from my own personal experience, works out pretty well. Like most people are matched with people who have like similar sleep schedules, stuff like that. Lastly, every first year dorm has a team of residential advisors. So you have a couple like older people living on your dorm who are kind of there to just make sure like nothing goes wrong, but also to provide like some kind of community support. You can go to them with like advice and stuff, and they'll direct you to institutions or places that can help you. And there are two residential advisors and then one MPA or minority peer advisor within each like unit. And the minority peer advisor is trained more so to kind of help with situations like race or sexual identity and stuff, and like provide guidance to students of those identities within their floor. The standard dorm looks like this. You get like two beds, some furniture, pretty bare, the really bright lights on the ceiling, and judging from the windows, this appears to be Wayland, just from what's outside. And yeah, this is like about what you can expect. Some are nicer, some are not quite as nice. Like they may have concrete blocks for the walling and stuff. But generally, this is pretty standard. The housing lottery, beginning your sophomore year. Yeah, so I mentioned that you might wait until you're a senior before you get like a house nicer than your like first year. Beginning your sophomore year, you will select a dorm by forming a housing group and then entering the lottery. So you get together with people, depends on what you're like looking for, whether it's a suite or you want a triple, which is like 3 people living in one room. depending on like what you're looking for and what the size of your community is and stuff, you enter like as a group, and then you get a lottery number that's kind of weighted against your class, like whether like just how old you are. And with your lottery number, you pick like whatever rooms are available. So these range from private single rooms to triples and suites. So suite is like you have a living space and then a bunch of people have their own singular rooms, which is really nice. Greek life is centered in one place on Risen. So Greek organizations at Brown actually live on campus, and they're usually not big enough to fully take up the buildings they're in. So that just gives you an idea of how powerful they are, which I'll get into later. And these singles go to what we call independence. So you may, like, if you just want your own room to yourself and like not have to worry about a housing group, you'll probably end up near the frats and stuff, which yeah. Other dorms scattered around campus are New Dorm, which is in Victor Gregorian Quad, or it's really called Victor Gregorian, but we all call it New Dorm, which is suite-based and it's right next to a dining facility. There's Hope College, which is right on the main green, which is probably the best location for a dorm. And there's Minden, which is like a nice hotel-looking building where everyone has their own private bathroom, which is really nice. Unfortunately, you may not want to get in Minden this year because it is likely being used as a quarantine house. But yeah, you have plenty of different, with that in mind, you have plenty of different dorms and variations of housing opportunities on campus. Living off campus is something that you can do starting your junior year and also your senior year. So you can either keep doing the housing lottery up to senior year where you get like the first pick of rooms. That's what I actually did. Or you can start your junior year and live off campus, or starting your junior year. About 26% of undergraduates live off campus, according to Brown. So that basically translates roughly into, say, half of juniors and seniors live off campus. And students on financial aid can also take part in this. You can have your housing award converted into a stipend for rent. Basically, whether you want to do this, it should be accessible to everyone as long as you know that, which not everyone does, unfortunately. You will basically have the opportunity to live off campus. It's just up to you whether you want to give up the amenities of dorm life to be, say, further away from campus, but have more freedom. So just up to you, but again, just another option that's available. And rent around Providence is pretty good compared to, say, like Boston or San Francisco, or like a lot of other like big city areas. So yeah, it's just something that you can consider if you don't want to live in a dorm your entire life, college life. Moving on to food. So Brown has different themed eateries around campus. There's the Ratty, which is actually the Sharper factory. I don't know where the rat part came in, honestly, but we just call it the Ratty. And that's basically like a buffet. There's like a central pillar shaped thing where everyone goes to get their food, and there's like a circle of seating or square of seating around it, and it's really big. The most variety there, but again, it's like more buffet style. The V-Dub is similar, which is to the north of campus, near the first years, but whereas the Ratty is open at just about all times, so every day from like 8 to 8. The V-Dub is only open at like select times throughout the day. Andrews is probably the fanciest though. So Lido and Ratty, like it depends on like what your tastes are, but like a lot of people um, aren't huge fans of them. I would argue that the Ratty, you can always get like a really good meal. Just sometimes you have to be creative about your ingredients. So maybe start watching uh, Top Chef, I believe it is, and learn how to do that. Uh, but Andrews, you get like more gourmet stuff. So you may have like salmon or something like that at Andrews. So it's by far the swankiest eatery. And there's also like a pizzeria, which there's like gourmet like pizza. Only problem with Andrews is there's often lines, and again, it's way to the north of campus by the first year housing. The Blue Room is what you probably would have experienced if you've come to Brown, say on a tour. That's the coffee shop and fonts on the main green. So like pastries, really nice muffins, stuff like that. More open to the public, and it's like a coffee shop for students. And there's also a competing coffee shop called the Underground, which is directly beneath the Blue Room for some reason. There's the Ivy Room, which is a vegetarian dinery, and there's Joe's, which is a grill. So Joe's is open until 2 a.m. every day, which I've used probably more than I've like to admit. Going like at night, really everyone does as a student, and there you go, like burgers and mozzarella sticks, stuff like that. Halal, kosher, and vegan options are also available. Just possibly not at every like dinery. Like the halal and kosher is mostly at the Ratty, but they do like label stuff for you. And students can leave meal plans starting junior year. Again, that depends. Like some people just may get tired of like eating from the same selection for 4 years. I myself was more scared of cooking and just having to do that every day. So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for.